of basic mathematics. The more who we are and how we got here, the more we were mobilized.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, people?
You know what, I meant to change my introduction because I'm always talking about what's going on, right? And so when I'm playing it back, it get on my nerves. I'll be like, how many times am I gonna say what's going on? Happy Thursday!
It's Brother Empowerment Day. Y'all know what time it is.
Why get that much energy? You didn't get it. You didn't even try to match me.
Because the weather outside is terrible right now, man.
I was like, happy Thursday. And he's like, what's going on, peeps? Peace in the Middle East. Rain. But it's brother empowerment time, like my brother said. So if this is your first time watching, this is not one of those bashing shows. This is actually one of those uplifting shows. So you don't hear what you shoulda, coulda, did, and all of those other things, but you will hear meaningful discussions to help empower and uplift our brothers, and also hoping that maybe something that we talk about will be kind of like those nuggets to empower one to change their lives for the better. As y'all can see, we do got a guest, but before we get into that, bro, how was your week?
And the week was pretty action-packed, man. Let's see. My mom was in town this past weekend, so it's always lovely seeing her. So spent most of the time in Henderson with the fam, and that's really it, man. I mean,
that's it. That's it. I'm just saying.
Man, you are
Mr. CG. Man. I'm just saying.
Oh, I also got to say too, we did film some great videos and take some great pictures of the whole board. So I can't say that was the only thing that happened. We did that too. That's part of the action-packed weekend, I guess you could say, because Monday was a holiday. So it was just it's a lot of lovely stuff going on, a lot of good connections, a lot of fun times this past weekend, this past week. So even with the weather being kind of like ugly the past couple of days, but. How about you,
I don't think this weather is ugly. Y'all, let me tell you this. I'm getting so excited because things are changing. Because my favorite season is upon us. Well, almost. It's approaching. It is in the distance. I see the clouds. Fall. Fall is like the perfect season.
Is it?
Man, the beautiful colors. You know what I'm saying? The nice weather, you can go out there and breathe without sweating. And then if it get cold enough, you don't smell stank.
You lost me with cold.
Yeah, I know. I want to say other things, but I want to get punched in the eye today. But yes, you wear a nice little sweater where you don't have to wear a jacket. You know what I'm saying? You can just wear a nice little sweater. You be looking nice. Boots come out. Man, I can't wait. Fall, where you at? Over there. I see you coming.
It's here. It's going to be here next week. It's really going to be here next week, unfortunately.
You asked me how my week was going.
I actually did.
You did?
I said, yeah, I did. Then he started talking.
Did he ask how the week was going? Because I got excited about maybe something about the weather. You see something about the weather?
I did.
How did I get on fall?
Because I said weather, and I was like,
yeah, the weather. Fall.
See, look at just.
My week was better than his week. But it started off rough because he put me to work and I wasn't supposed to work on Monday.
How did I put you to work?
Bro, I edited the videos.
I mean, yeah.
It's my voice in the video too.
I mean, well, bro,
But I did like taking pictures.
Yeah, and you like editing too.
I did like taking pictures. Look, the chief technology officer talking about I like taking pictures.
You do like taking pictures.
The chief technology officer talking about I like taking pictures and editing stuff. But that's you. Look, you know what? I hate this. I hate that girl right there. But before we start going into those comments, we do got a guest. Tell the people who you are, our special guest.
Hey, what's up? Can I say, hey, everybody, the thing that you did? My name is Keetria. I am a podcast host and PR consultant. Just thank you to the gentleman, Jay and CG, for allowing me to be on the platform. And I'm just here to kind of share and contribute where I can. But my background is in PR and marketing, and like I said, I'm also a podcast host, and just a creator like everybody else, just trying to walk in a purpose and do what I can. And that's my introduction, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
Well, tell the people where you're from.
Hey, well, we are from the great state of Texas, the best state, the bestest state.
Cousin, y'all.
Right. I'm actually from Bryan College Station, which is Bryan College Station, about an hour out of Houston, and small town. Well, you heard of A&M though, right? I know you heard of the Aggies, so yeah.
Ma'am, I just want to go on record, let you know that several AMEs, AMEs too, but yeah.
Well,
but yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but that you get what I'm saying. I'm from that little small town, little area, and I'm just in the Houston area right now. I've been here for like the past 10 years or so. So
okay, I like how you anyway me too. That was pretty smooth.
No, but it was not
the early 2009 anyway. Anyway, boy.
What I was actually meaning that respectfully, because I was like, okay, you're gonna start babbling, so just go ahead and just do it yourself, so that you can segue into the next thing.
Well, I appreciate it. Okay, bro. So you're gonna say who we got on?
Let's see here. I can only see a few people, but let's see. We got Adrian is on. Adrian Ragland. Hey, what's up, Adrian?
Hey, Adrian. Happy belated birthday, Adrian.
Yep. So we got Rashida is on.
Hey, Rashida.
We got Ricky Phillips is on. Hey, Ricky. Waiting for those,
politics, Rick.
Peace offerings. Sean Bates is on.
He don't know you petty and messy.
What?
He don't know that. Okay.
But what got to do with me?
Oh, we see how you just threw that out there? Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Kim Rawls, what's going on, Kim? We got Kim on. Hey, Joy. Joy is on. We got Misha. Hey, Misha.
Miss Misha.
Miss Misha. I'm just going to say Misha.
See, oppositionally defiant.
No, that's all I can see for right now. I can't see anybody else.
So let me see. We got Sean on from YouTube land.
All right, I said that.
I'm just saying. I had to put it out there. If y'all haven't went to YouTube, man, please subscribe to YouTube, Adrian. That's my friend. Adrian is my new friend.
Dude.
Look.
Hey,
see?
Ricky, man, don't let him talk about me like that. Don't do that.
It's too late, man. You done showed him who you really were first.
I don't know what you're talking. I was talking, really repeating what he said.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
To my thanks, Cordell. You know what? She said it with an attitude, and she popped her lips. You know that.
It's cool. It's
wow.
Cool. Hey, sis.
Okay. So, Keetria, we about to get into this discussion. Okay? No holds barred. Just don't be cussing people out, okay?
I'll try to hold my tongue.
So we talked about this before about having the but we didn't go into detail, like really helping capitalize on the Black dollar. Like, what do you think about possibly having a Black Wall Street app?
What my thoughts? I mean, it's why not? Why not? There's an app for everything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's actually probably a good place to start, because now when you especially like the area that I'm in, when you try to support Black businesses, you always have to kind of Google to see who's doing what. But if you have an app to kind of have everything in one spot, it's easier. I think it would be easier for us to really find out and to grow like who's doing what, especially with all the different categories and industries you have. So
what do you think about those who I was in a discussion, like some people think a young lady posted, she's looking for a Black pediatrician. Mm-hmm. And then a white counterpart said that she feels like that is racist and the double standard. So do you feel like, how do you address the double standardness when when someone says like, no, I just want to support someone who is of the same culture or of the same race?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're always going to have people that don't understand. Of course, she's going to say it's racist. It's taken away from her business. And at the same time, I think that really, I don't even explain. If I'm going to support a Black business, that's what I'm going to do. And I try not to get into arguments as to why I'm doing that. But for the people that are ignorant as to the reasons why somebody would want to support a Black business, especially if you're Black, then that just, you need a history lesson. You know, you need a history lesson. That's plain and simple. You need a history.
Well, my wife said she thinks it's a great idea. And Miss Misha said that she like you already.
Yeah, thanks, Misha. Thanks.
I'll thank her. And then Lori said, Lori of Blackology, she's another one. You know what though? When you get through with us, you might want to connect with them. Hey guys, I put all of this stuff in there. Misha is actually a talented makeup artist down in Columbia, South Carolina. And then Lori is actually a master chef who turned roaster or brewer. Which one is it when you do the coffee? But she got Blackology where she does the coffee. That's her new thing, and she's doing actually phenomenal. Been on news and everything about it. Oh, yeah. What's going on with Deshaun?
What's up, Deshaun, bro?
Misha said white people do it all the time. They're not vocal about it.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
eat okra. That's disgusting.
What was it? Eat okra? Oh. Oh wow.
That's just nasty. Carla said my hashtag for the past 6 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah. What's your thoughts about the Black Wall Street app?
Man, I think it's a nice idea. I think it's a great idea too. I mean, they already have. I mean, there's something like that, you know, on social media already. As far as just pages, they have a whole Instagram. It's a page with really a directory, and it's called We Buy Black. And it's got a directory. It's a website directory for everything. What's that, Keetria?
Yeah, I've seen them. We Buy Black.
Yeah, that's a whole directory for basically anything that you need or think about purchasing. That, you know, as far as Black business goes, that's there, and they add to it continuously. So that kind of stuff is already there on social media or just on the internet, period. So it makes sense that it would come to smartphones. I think it's a dope idea because why not? You know, Black business needs support. So why wouldn't we want to do that? And if people don't like it, then again, like you just said, you either need a history lesson or really that needs to be unpacked why you don't like that or think that that's something wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
You good?
More important.
He's talking about it's an app. I hate okra with a passion. I don't know.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Come on now. Hey, I'm gonna stop you right there. I believe your wife just posted. Whoever put "I love okra." Hey, you know Well, next time if anybody is visiting the Houston area, we're gonna have a good old country dinner. So we do the fried okra. The only thing I don't do is that boiled okra though. That kind of gets me.
Well, she do it. See, she do it. My wife do it.
But you got to do it right. You got to do it to where it's not. You got to get it.
I'm not a fan of okra.
Well, I love okra too. Okra is good.
And everybody. And the sad part is, I've been with my wife for 13 years, 12 years married. And every time I tell somebody I don't like okra, they always like, well, you got to try. You got to try this. And the okra is still nasty. I don't care how flavorful it is. That slimy mess, you can't fry that slime out. That'll still be a little tasty. But that slimy mess, it still be slimy. It'd be like a little film.
None of that sounds good.
It don't. And then it got little seeds in it too.
Try it fried though. Fried okra is good.
I done said it and I done had it fried. It's just like, ooh, tastes good, but it's still a little
Right.
Okra is disrespectful. That texture. Roasted okra?
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't tried. I don't think I had roasted okra.
Y'all got a demon.
Not a demon.
Yeah, I was just about to say church's okra is good. I don't do boiled okra. See, nobody do boiled okra.
Because she do it with some old tomatoes and stuff. It's all the same. Slime is slime at this point. Y'all stuck on okra. It's your fault because you posted it and the okra was in the name. See, I probably had an aversion to the app. No, how disrespectful. I just want to move on because they feel like this app should be coupled also with basically showing how to secure or how to maintain financial security. So I do think that we have to move a step past just having apps. And I do feel like we have to start moving towards application, pun not intended, but having resources available. Like me and my wife, we're looking at stocks right now, but it's not like it gives you stock details about like how to invest. What does this mean? Like it would be nice to have a little icon where you can look and have. I'm giving away $1 billion idea right now. So you heard it here first. So when you start doing it,
right, I'm taking notes, writing it down. Right. Come on, keep giving me the information.
What the information is, know what the risk really means for it. You know, what things can you get a return on investment on? Like all of that stuff, like what can you take out right away? What stuff you got to wait for? How do you become part owner of an organization? It's like all of those things need to be done. And for somebody who don't know, we can't just say it's simple and easy. It's not. So I think if we really want to go to the place that we're saying we want to help people secure financial security, are we going to have a conversation about what financial security is, one, and what's the road to get there and what's the road to maintain it? Don't just give us a whole bunch of pictures and words and expect us to kind of figure it out, because we all have real lives. That's the only thing that frustrates me. And before you financial literacy people come after me, leave me alone. Because it's like if I'm starting over and I'm 20-something years old and I don't have like a whole bunch of assets and all of these different things already, it's easy for that. But you can't say, oh, just save this much and just do this and just do that. No. I think it needs to be a realistic approach to stuff.
It definitely.
And I don't think a lot of that stuff is realistic. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that's the truth. I mean, sometimes, they don't, if you have the steps to be able to prepare for something, that's one thing. But for somebody just to tell you to go out and do something without you having the proper guidance, I mean, you're going to end up back where you started. So,
right. Yeah, Sean, I think you're lying, but that's fine. We can move on. Oh, he said it's a Wall Street trapper on Instagram as well.
Okay. That's the dude that's his name on there. It's a Wall Street trapper.
But Keetria won't go on Instagram like she's supposed to, y'all. So y'all will just be following her, but she ain't gonna engage with y'all. She don't even say thank you for following. She gonna follow back. She just gonna be like,
I do follow back. I try to follow everybody.
Yeah, she said go to Twitter. She said I'm not.
I can't believe you just. All right. Yeah. Well,
it's only Twitter.
Right. I'm a Twitter snob. I got my 140 characters or less.
That's easy.
Hashtag included.
It's easier to manage one social media post. It's too many to manage.
Oh, Rashid said yes. Add some financial literacy. I'm all for it. I feel like that's a trap. Dr. Boyce Watkins has excellent information. And then she said, no, this stuff isn't
that's right.
Of us of color in finance need to pour that into the community.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. She right on. I mean,
that's why.
She
a finance advocate.
Okay. Yeah.
And he said, I've always been told to start with products you use on a daily basis. I bought 1,000 worth of Apple stock like 2 years ago, and now I'm at like 5,000. I got
zero.
But he just threw out that 1,000 like it was just like nothing, and then he threw out this 5,000 like it's not that. Can I get the junior? I need the junior startup plan. So yeah. So we definitely for it. So those who are actually financial gurus or stuff, Rashid, y'all put something together and help the people. But do you know about stock, or is it everybody who's in finance don't know about stock? Do they?
I think that's a little different. I mean,
I don't know.
It's under the umbrella, but I mean, there's financial advisors and all that other stuff. I don't know if they all know about stocks and stuff like that. I don't know. I go to a friend of mine named Keon, or Devontae Ragland, as he is up here. He's my, pro bono financial advisor. So I go to him for stuff like that. He's a stock person.
Look, he laughing, talking about me and it grew. Oh,
we knew what you meant, bro.
No, Jay did not.
Oh, my bad.
I know that I'm ignorant. I own it. What Kim say, smart? I said, hey, back.
Oh, hey, Kim.
Only she acted like a profile picture. Just so sweet on her profile picture. She says she's working on it. I'm more in loans and credit. Okay.
That's dope too.
I'm about to my head, Kim. My wife's so petty. Yep, that is dope. Because I got some loans I want to get rid of. So the next one is something that's kind of hot on the topics right now is Dr. Dre's wife's spousal support.
I mean, I've only seen the sensationalized headlines here and there about how she wants $2 million a month and stuff like that. I haven't read into the actual court manuscripts or anything like that, so I can only say that, I mean, they were married. They're married for a long time. His wife actually is, or I guess ex-wife now, is actually a lawyer, or used to be rather. I don't know if she still practices. So, I mean, if she says that if she wants $2,000 a month and that's what she's filing for, who are we to say that she don't deserve it? First of all, who's anybody to say what somebody else doesn't deserve, period?
Right. Yeah.
So that's the one thing. Second of all, if who knows if she's going to get that. That may be what she's filing for, but that may just be a negotiation number. Negotiation, you start out higher than what you actually want a lot of times, and then you negotiate down to what your actual target is. So who knows? But as far as saying is it right or wrong, it just is. She's told her lawyer, or if she's not representing herself, she said, I want $2 million a month. And I guess he said no, and they're gonna work it out. So that's all I really got for that.
That was a lot.
I mean, yeah,
No, I'm not even judging. I'm just saying, Key, what you got?
I agree. I mean, then too, like, what did you come in with though? That can weigh heavy. Like, at what point did we get together and we, made this money together, or look at it like that? Or maybe even, what did you come in with? Did you come in with that much? Or maybe she came in with less than and they built up to where she deserves. I mean, how do you determine if you deserve $2 million versus 10? He obviously got money. So, I guess she gonna try to get as much as she can, but it's like, for what reason would it be $2 million? I guess that's probably what the attorney would probably want to figure out. Okay, why is it 2 million and not 10, or 2 million versus 1 million? Like, what determines that number? How do you arrive at that number? I guess is what my question would be. But at the end of the day, hey, you can pay it. That's cool. I'm not judging. It's whatever,
Yeah, I mean, that's something.
We talking about Dr. Dre,
Yeah, he's a billionaire, so
Well, there's so many things I want to say about that, but it's like, let's go to the comments first. No, they're different expertise. Thank you, Kim. Oh, now you want to be nice. Misha, stop trying to tell us what to do with our show. Misha always trying to tell us who to bring on. Ricky says she done lost her mind. I feel like it was a cuss word in there. And Misha said exactly. So I'm choosing to believe she was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
We don't know what she has had to kind of go on what you said.
That's true.
She asked for. The funny thing is, I could push the face, making the same face as she said it. Yeah. Let me see. Maybe he can sue her. And then, what's going on, Charles?
What's up, bro?
I guess my whole thought on that is, marriage is, how do you place a value on a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure. Yeah, I struggle with that because it's like, for one, we might think it's a lot because majority of us that are watching this show right now, we're not even millionaires. Mm-hmm. So the money might seem like it's a lot when in actuality it's not. Mm-hmm. It's things that she's used to. Yeah. And the one thing that I was actually impressed with, and Adrian called it out, was the fact that she even thought about that, hey, I want to continue to give a certain amount to charitable organizations, because a lot of people don't. They usually just think about them. And what she's saying is, no, I still want the lifestyle that I'm accustomed to. And to be honest, $2 million off of $1 billion ain't nothing.
Right.
So we make it seem like it's more than that when it's not. And to be honest, I do agree. You don't know what she had to endure.
Yeah.
And it's foolish for any person to assume that one person is self-made.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know where that inspiration came from any of his songs, any of his beats. We don't know. It's just like I create graphic work, but my wife comes in and say, no, I don't like that. Why don't you change this over there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I created it, but she actually influenced the design that a lot of people like.
Yeah.
A lot of people love, even down to the websites. She influenced that.
Yeah.
So if she wanted to come back later and say, yeah, I want a portion of what was given, what was given based off of that, technically she does have a right to it.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know that. And I think that sometimes we look at things from our place, but you don't know, like at the grand scheme of things, like what impact she made on that $1 billion that he made or he accrued.
She was a practicing, well, I say she was, but I don't know, like I said, I don't know if she still is. But she's a lawyer, so who knows what kind of paperwork, how many hours, billable hours that weren't billed because they were married. Who knows how much of that was put into their relationship, their marriage, his business, her business, none of that. Nobody knows any of that. And until it comes out and was disclosed in the transcripts in the court case, which may or may not be made public, well, nobody's going to know. So that's why I say it's not really anyone else's real jurisdiction to say what she does or doesn't deserve.
Yeah. Let me see.
Well, Ricky, apparently from what she says, Dr. Dre ripped up the prenup. He denies it, but she says he ripped it up. So again, it's her word against his. So they're going to hash that out in court too.
You see, that's why I'm not a fan of like technically prenups, and I can say this now because I'm only a thousandaire. But maybe that might change when I become this millionaire and billionaire. But I'm hoping to have still the same woman, the same wife, and the same baby mama. So I'm hoping none of that really changes. But it's impossible to know what you will be and what you will accrue later on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think that he even thought that he would be a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about a lot of things, but you don't even know. And it's like, I just think that sometimes it's hard for you to say what the future will bring.
Right. Yeah. Very hard.
But I'm going to leave that alone because I ain't going to go down that rabbit hole because y'all know I'm not a fan of it. So we're going to leave that alone. What about how do we keep segregation from growing, as well as educational disparities within public schools as we move towards remote learning, pandemic pods forming, where like-minded people are working together to keep their kids engaged, etc.
So that was like 4 things in one.
That was a good one, though.
Yeah.
It's actually one, but it was founded off of. So the first part is, how do we keep segregation from growing, as well as educational disparities? So those 2 things, like within public school. So they're saying, how do we stop public schools from feeling or being segregated because now most people are at home, right? Yeah. And so you have some people, because I know for Wake County, they try to do a good job of making sure schools are blended with the different socioeconomic levels. But now people are at home, which means the access that the school was leveraging is now changing just a little bit. So like, how do we help that where we can have those kids engaged just as much as those who come from well-off communities and or homes is the bigger question.
Well, I think local government has to, well, not has to, but should step in when it comes to that, because I was talking to some, I forget who I was talking to. This was a couple weeks ago. I was talking about just internet access by itself. I mean, some people live in areas where the internet access isn't great, or they don't even have internet access when they're not at home or not at school outside of their phone, which, cellular network and all that. So I think that's where, local government, or even, just even the schools themselves, but really just local government can step in and really, and that has been happening in some areas where, some areas are providing kids with, some schools are providing kids with computers and all that stuff, and internet access is being managed, but that's not widespread, So I think that's one of the things that can be used to manage that. I don't really have anything else.
What do you think, Keith?
Yeah, I mean, definitely that. And then also just making sure that those kids are engaged with the kids that are in the classroom. Because I know like with my kids and even my sister's kids, even the ones that are in the classroom, because you kind of worry about the ones in class getting more attention than the ones that are virtual. But I think like the teachers have been doing a great job of just making sure that whatever they're discussing with the kids in class, they also go and translate that to the kids that are virtual. So I just thought it was safer, at this point in time to do in-class learning. But they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job. The best thing I can say is just make sure that what you do for one, make sure you do for the other.
Mm-hmm. And so the sad part is, for some, like I understand the uncontrollable situations, but some of that stuff is kind of hard to. I struggle with this. On one end, we want less government interaction, but then on the other side, we want more, and then we put pressure on an entity to provide things that we don't want them to have say in. I'm weird about that because
That's right.
If I give you this access to govern my house and provide my house what it needs, but I don't want you to say anything on what go on in my house, it's kind of
double standard.
Yeah, and so that's why I kind of go back and forth with that. But I understand, and I really don't have a solution for it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
this was a once in a lifetime or once every however long situation.
Right.
Who thought of, well, what are we gonna do about school in a pandemic? Jay, how are we gonna, let's come up with a contingency plan for that 20 years ahead of time or 5 years ahead of time. I don't know if that comes up in meetings for schools and stuff. I mean, it probably will now, but 10 years ago, I don't know if they were sitting in the meeting saying, hey, Keetria, so if we have a pandemic in the next 2 years, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, be like, I'm totally thinking, I think a pandemic is gonna happen in about 24 months. So let's prepare for that.
Right.
But the only thing that upsets me about this whole thing, because I worked in higher ed for 19 years. And for 6 of those 19 years, I was in traditional education in higher ed. But they were so behind even then.
Yeah.
Like there are some traditional schools right now want you to do a paper application.
Yeah.
A paper application?
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna get that paper app in if you want to come here. So yeah.
Right. And so why didn't schools, especially elementary schools, high schools, middle schools, why haven't they partnered with the non-traditional higher ed institutions? This is their area, this is their lane. And I know for a fact, I even reached out to my kids' principal and was like, listen, I can help you. Do you think they asked for help? And guess what's happening? Teachers are still fumbling through stuff because there is this arrogant approach to they should know because they're the learner. Be like, no, this is horrible. And they're doing a disservice. So this would be a great time for businesses to partner with businesses who know a little bit about this thing. Because there are schools that are online completely that we should be partnering with. Why are we coming up with a plan when there are already things out there? Yeah. That's the thing that frustrates me. And that's just like ABC 1, 2, 3.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so and that's what's really doing. I see teachers, I got friends who are teachers who are stressed out because they're trying to adapt and adjust when we have working plans out there. We missed a comment, Tara talking about marriage. She said marriage is a whole contract. So apparently paper doesn't rule the relationship. Somebody broke something. Yep, the whole paper. Now, if I was talking about, Ricky said, first off, we have to make sure students have internet access. About 1/3 of the students can't even get online.
Yeah, it's a major key, man.
And Carla, who's a teacher, keep in mind, Carla a teacher too. And she said, Ricky, yes, Ricky, it's ridiculous. And we can't blame Wake County Public School System. Every household has a right to reliable internet service. Come on now.
Yeah, the way the U.S. handles internet service is laughed at by other countries. Most other modern countries like Europe and.
Well, she's saying that they're providing it. We're actually providing hotspots and everything for them. So it's almost, for Wake County, it's most of them, if you don't have it, you don't want it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm talking about her comment. I was just talking about internet access in general in this country.
The biggest issue beyond access is too many parents with their means are not respecting virtual learning. They are their kids' problem. And look at Carla. Yes. Ricky said the schools don't have the bandwidth and the system just can't handle the load. It takes millions to fix that. That's why they should partner with virtual learning schools who have it.
Yeah, that's something that I definitely hear. And as a tech person, all I could think of servers and stuff that weren't stress tested and a bunch of infrastructure that has not been, that has not been customized to fit this need, which is probably stuff that hasn't been used or really checked on in years. And so they were like, oh, let's put this together, and they couldn't handle it. So yeah, that definitely, I have heard that too as well.
Yeah, it's so much I want to say. Exactly. We need to look at the NCGA and our state superintendent. What's the NCGA? North Carolina Government Association? I don't know. What is NCGA called? Yeah, but I think that this is also, when we talk about parents, parenting is a responsibility and a choice. And I'm saying this as a parent. It is also your responsibility to figure out some of these things and not expect the school system and all of that to figure it out. General Assembly, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you didn't know that?
I don't know. You don't know.
I needed to blame somebody. I didn't want to blame myself. Higher ed. That's the general thing. I don't know. I tried to. We're going to Google that.
Definitely Google.
But I think as parents, we got to realize, like how Tara was saying, like sometimes we are the problem. We are expecting somebody, well, I ain't no teacher, but you are a teacher because you teach that kid everything about life and how to respond to education. If you're looking at this situation negatively, the kid is going to look at this situation negatively. It is time for us as parents to step up. If you know your child needs more engagement, do like I. Man, let me tell you, this new age math is hard. But guess what? I have friends who are tutors, who are teachers. Guess what? We set up parties for them to spend time with the kids so I can understand, so they can understand, but the kids are getting that interaction. It's time to utilize your resources. It's time for you to reach out and can't have nobody. If you got people that you can complain to, you got people that you can go to build with too. And it's time for us to really just step up in that area too, because we all are dealing with something we never experienced before.
Right.
So how it's hard to put that on teachers and administration when we all trying to figure this thing out. Just like you don't know how you gonna go to work, the teachers are trying to figure out how they gonna do their work. Man, y'all better leave teachers alone, leave them principals alone, got me mad. It's amazing all the schools aren't even following the same structure at all. Everyone is trying to make things up. Man, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at Superman come in.
What's up, Superman?
But of course he would know. You are the general and the assembly. Resources can be people. Reach out.
Absolutely.
Come on. I love it.
We say it all the time.
Parents are tripping out. They aren't setting the environment in their homes, taking pics of kids crying like it's cool. Stop.
Yeah, that whole you got parents sitting next to their kids, basically threatening them with physical punishment. They don't do stuff or that, or the whole pictures or videos of kids crying and stuff. Like, who wants to see that? I don't. And I don't even have kids, but.
Yep. And I tell you right now, they parent each other when they come to their homework sometimes because the oldest one got to help the youngest one. And I'm like, I just want to keep it going. Me and my wife did all our resources with the oldest. We got her potty trained. After that, we told her, this sister is your responsibility.
Oh, wow.
She potty trained her and everything. We was like, you got to potty train your sister. Look, she full potty training her sister. Man. Now they helping each other with homework and everything. That's our support system. No, but seriously, like when they have a problem and they can't figure it out amongst themselves, they help us. But the funny thing is my younger one is very good with grammar, so she helps the oldest one with grammar. So it's a win-win. And then when we can't figure it out, when they can't figure it out and we can't figure it out, we do call a lifeline And we have people that we really do reach out. Aquaria's been on the show. She has a tutoring business that helps throughout the entire U.S. And if she don't have a person in your area, she will get somebody for your area to get you the support that you need. Brooke has another tutoring session, and she's a Durham County assistant principal. So there are people that are at our fingertips that can really help. We got teachers that are on that may know of other resources, but we got to make sure that we're supporting one another too, because the teachers need support after that too.
Yeah,
I text my daughter's teachers all the time, be like, "You okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? What can I get you? How can I help you? Is there something we need to do on our end?" And it's just going to take a little bit of pull from everybody. And Adrian is right. Those I ain't teacher parents weren't helping with homework prior. Now, I ain't even complaining. I wasn't really helping with. I would proofread the homework. I would check it, but I didn't do it with them. But I agree. And it shows that, like, if you're frustrated about this, or those who are also frustrated with being in the house, you mad because your kid is still in the house with you?
They got a choice. They can send them. I mean, you got public, school bus and stuff like that. I mean, you got a choice regardless. So really, to me, I think some people, they're going to complain whether the kids are in the school or whether they're at home.
And I like my kids, so I'm actually glad, because my oldest was going to middle school, and I wasn't ready to accept the fact that she was older. So I was like, thank you, COVID. Thank you, all of the COVID, for my baby being home with me. One more year. We were going to try that 7th grade. But we can do it all the way up to 9th grade, to be honest. So it don't matter.
Oh, wow.
Robert said stocks are really, Robert. Stocks are a type of financial advisor. I like general practitioner. So he comes back 6 conversations later. They're like specialists, both doctors, but one gets a little more depth in their field. Thanks, Robert. We really needed that. But yeah. We thank you. We appreciate it. Connect with Rashia. Y'all come up with a plan so we can put it on our page. And we have it. What's up, Kevin Bethay? What's going on, brother? Kevin, bro? Folks gonna be mad just to be mad. She said what she said, and I agree. Keith said the same thing. So the other one is how to move on from bad breakups in life, work, friendships, etc. We're gonna throw this on Keith. What you got? How you move on?
That was CG. You're supposed to go first, right? No. First. You know, I mean, to me, it's like there's always, and it's uncomfortable for anybody that's having to break up relationship, job. I don't care what it is. So you either do it because you know it's something you need to do, or you forced to do it. Either way, it's going to end up broke. If it needs to be broken, it's going to be broke. And as far as moving on, I think that really just takes a lot of self-reflection, and you have to, you really have to appreciate yourself enough to know that maybe it's an abusive situation, maybe not only physical abuse, but maybe mental abuse. And you know, you have to respect yourself enough and love yourself enough to know time to move on. You know, when the job call and say, hey, you laid off. Don't be trying to, you know, stay on board. If they telling you they moving on, I think that most of the times we forget that something is better for us on the other side of whatever it is that we're going through. So, I mean, it's hard, it's difficult, but I just say one day at a time and just do the best you can. That's really all you can do, you know, and just stay in faith.
You just preached to me, because that's just what happened to me.
All right, with my fans. Right.
Let me go. She talking about, don't try to hold on. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but no, seriously, you know, just take baby steps. And another thing that I find helpful is to not to be telling everybody what you got going on, whether it be, you know, good friends, family, or whatever. Just try to, you know, go within and really pull yourself together first, because most of the times, a lot of the advice that people will give you, whether it be mom, dad, sister, brother, whoever, they are telling you stuff that works for them, but it's not necessarily something that will work for your situation. Maybe that's something that you need to do within yourself. So you can't really take the advice. I mean, you can listen, but at the end of the day, you don't want to get into trying to do what has worked for somebody else, because you got to do what works best for you. So that's my 2 cents.
I just want to say, I like the fact that you shook your neck when you were saying all of that. So it was serious. And
hey, you know, you better be glad as long as we didn't do the hair roll, we good.
I was ready. I was like, real man talking about it.
Right, right.
Ms. Joy say, I agree. Dive back into yourself, your needs, reach out to your positive support system, increase self-care.
Yeah.
As funny as this sounds, like I've never really had like a bad breakup.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one bad breakup, the only bad breakup I've had, me and my wife had, it was with a pastor.
Oh wow.
They didn't want to let us go. So that was about the baddest breakup I've ever had. But I've always lived this life like you treat people literally like you want to be treated in a sense. And like, I think if we are causing so much discourse together, it's understood that we shouldn't be together. And that should be a blessing to both of our lives. Like if we're too bad together, seeing each other go should be a relief, and we should celebrate that relief. So I don't know, like, I'm very good with talking about stuff. I think that you should talk about it. And but I'm also a person that believes just because you weren't good with a person romantically, or you weren't good with a person as a friend, or you weren't good with an employer, that you have to leave on bad terms and it has to be something negative. I think that a lot of us don't know how to end things amicably, or end things in a way that we can mutually come back to and revisit if need to be.
Yeah. I think.
And I think that sometimes people break up, separate. And when I'm talking about break, I'm not just talking about romantically, but I think sometimes people separate and they're not even clear why they separated. Like sometimes I have revisited, like, why are we mad at each other?
Yeah.
Like, what was the reason? Because I need to understand, because I need to process that to make sure if it's a bad trait that I have, I need to make sure I'm not continuing to do that. And so I had a friend, like, we stopped being friends, and I was like, did we fall out? Did we argue?
Right.
Kind of find out we didn't argue. It was just something going on with them. So I really don't understand like how you can't, as an adult, sit down and talk, and how things are that bad where it's tough for you to acknowledge a breakup. That's a struggle for me, and I admit that. So beat me up if you want to. I know you got something to say, bro. Rashia say, I agree with Keetria. Take the L's as in lesson. What do you learn about yourself, your needs, area of improvement, physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, and focus on that. Sarah should have been a Scorpio because she talking about she too good at goodbye. And she says sometimes you gotta break up to reclaim your peace of mind. What you got, bro?
Well, I'll say from the different areas, from like for work, like I think like Keetria was saying, if the company decides they want to move on, for whatever reason, I mean, you may like the job or whatnot, but that may just be a sign, or that you need to separate from the company. That just may have been, and it may have been a sign that you have been ignoring or something like that. So I think I think Keetria's definitely on something with that. When it comes to friendships or connections like that, I think that definitely it's not always negative to separate, and maybe it just come to a point where things are just different. I mean, if both parties or all parties involved are growing, and there may come a point where it doesn't, like Jay said, it doesn't suit you all to be that connected like that anymore. And that doesn't necessarily have to be even a negative thing. It could be something that's mutual. Like, hey, we're that things are just a little different now, and it's best maybe if we kind of separate. And that don't mean that later on a coming together or reconciliation can't happen, but that just may be something for that moment or a period of time that happens. So I think definitely self-reflection and accountability, because sometimes separation happens for, again, mutual reasons, mutual offenses. I mean, it's not always things, in my opinion, things are rarely one-sided completely. There's usually some areas on both sides or all sides of things that happen that contributed to a separation or something of sort, whether that be romantic, from friendships or whatever. So, but I definitely think that if that's the decision that's made, make a decision that be a decision that you're okay with, and
I'm sorry.
Let it be a decision that you're okay with, and also, again, talk about it. Like Jay said, I happen to be a person that is good with talking about things as well. Have a conversation about it, even if it still ends up with the result being the same. Still have a conversation about it, so you're clear on things. Like Jay said too, some people are separated and don't even know why.
Yep.
What good does that do anybody? If you really want to know why you're separated, but you're separated, so why not have the conversation or conversations, multiple.
Conversations.
Conversations, multiple, that gets clarity.
That's actually another thing.
What?
Conversation. Nah, that might be a shirt.
Yeah, that's really all I got for that,
But no, I will say this too. Know why people are in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I always go back to this because sometimes we get confused with who is supposed to be our patient, who's supposed to be our student, who's supposed to be our peer, who's supposed to be our mentor, who's supposed to be our leader, who is supposed to be just a confidant.
Mm-hmm.
And because we confuse and blur those lines and we want people to be our everything, sometimes we're disappointed at an expectation that wasn't even set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get people because they love is a parable and love what we have going on and they feel connected to us. They think that we're friends. And I don't have a problem with saying, no, we're not friends. We're here to do a service and we're going to always provide that service to you. But a friendship is something that's a little different, and it's hard for some people to digest that. That doesn't mean I'm against you. That doesn't mean I'm not going to help you. But I don't want to set that expectation that we are in an area outside of business or outside of service.
Yeah.
And some people struggle with that. And some people fall head over heels for the treatment that they perceive it as something more. And then you have to realize when certain people come into our lives, it may be a response that we're not used to getting. And we end up getting in entanglements.
Entanglements.
I had to bring it back one more time.
Wow.
Flashback Thursdays. But no, we might really get into entanglements, or we might get into situations of manipulation because we're used to responses. And that may truly hinder the progression of what that interaction should be. And so sometimes we're breaking up when we should be apologizing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then, like Terry said, folks will cut you off because you're quiet. They need to understand that that's their bad trait. Amen. Sometimes folks are doing something else, not even mad. Yep, just send a check on me. I just checked on you today, Terry. I just thought about that. Yeah, just send a check on me text like, you good? Mm-hmm. And then keep it moving. When you set the purpose, some folks do not believe the honesty. When they cannot change you, it's a problem. It is. And that's when we go back. Look, y'all talk about contracts all the time. Like I told you in the beginning, we're not friends, and it's okay. And if you can't accept that, it's okay. I don't feel like that's a bad breakup because I have said okay to a lot of people.
Yeah. And
we can just keep it moving. Mm-hmm. Dog, Key, that whole hour went by fast.
Hey, I've enjoyed it. I mean, I told you I was waiting on this all week. So, this is like I was going to the club or something like that, just having just a good outlet and just be able to, discuss and talk with you guys and, visit with your platform. It's been good. It's been nice.
Well, no, you have really been a blessing.
For sure.
What people don't know is how we met Key is Cordell and I was in a conversation and we were talking about how we need to expand our reach and figure it out. And that particular day, while we was really sitting here after Brother Empowerment, we get a bing, and it was Keetria on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And when we looked her up together, it was like, wow, who is this? Mm-hmm. So we followed back, and that's how the conversation came. And she's someone who actually knows the area, knows the profession that we're trying to expand more into. And you never realize when you put something out there how fast it comes back. And the first conversation with Keetria, man, me and her were talking like we was cousins.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. She got a podcast. The whole leadership team gonna be on that podcast.
Can't wait. Looking forward. Got y'all set for September 21st. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, we in there.
September 21st.
I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited about the things that is going to birth from this union. But I'm excited that you came, and I thank you for being a continuous light. You were part of our mission, and not even knowing it. But when you came, the things that you said that you wanted to do and how you look at life was so aligned with us, man. We're excited about it because we believe light attracts light.
Right.
So not even knowing you on the other side of the world in a different time zone, not world, but country, different time zone, and connected with us. So we appreciate that. But this is what we do, what is called Positive Brother Shout Out. Okay. This is your opportunity to recognize brothers that are making positive impacts in your personal community, or those who don't normally get recognized because they on their grind doing their goodness. That's all I had.
You know what? I'll definitely just say, just shout out to everybody who is behind the movements that are going on with the Black Lives Matter. In addition to that, definitely you guys, just anybody, any male or man that is not, it ain't gotta be man. Well, you did say man, so yeah, I got it. Let me see who else. I got a good friend, Brian.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I had to really think because I go down a list of trying to shout people out. But no, I just really want to give just a shout out to anybody who is trying to do something better with their lives. I think this year has really opened up the eyes of a lot of people for us to see really just how short life is. So regardless of if you're behind the Black Lives movement, or if it's something with I'm not really following a lot of the stuff that's going on in the different cities and stuff, but there's always a way for you to get involved in your community. So anything that you're behind, that you're trying to uplift, empower other people, whether it's man, woman, whoever, just thank you and just give a shout out to them. So I'll leave it at that because I'll keep going. And I think we counting down to like the last couple of minutes. So that's pretty much it. But thank you guys so much. Thank you and your whole leadership team, and just thank you so much. Very appreciative. That's it. All right.
That's so me, man.
Oh wow, so awkward. Yeah.
I don't know how to go after that, but I'm gonna do it though. So I would start out by, of course, shouting out my brother Jay. We are here every week doing this thing, and we just have been thinking of ways to just make it better and better, and it has gotten better. I think about when we first started to now. I mean, things are just way different. I mean, we both in better shape. We both have more hair. Like all kinds of stuff is different. We just been doing all kinds of different stuff. So yeah, but definitely want to shout out to all the brothers that are actually. First of all, let me finish that. But yeah, so shout out to brother Jay, my brother Jay, because we started this thing. We've just been going ever since, steamrolling. So shout out to rolling. So also want to shout out to all the brothers that are on the live today, all the brothers that are going to view this later on, like Deshaun, Superman, Sean, Rob, all you brothers that are here just watching and giving your support and giving your input every week. Like, we definitely appreciate that. We love y'all. I also want to shout out to all the brothers that are one of the brothers that we talked about earlier, who are teachers and also employees or entrepreneurs or whatever, and they're juggling all those roles. They're helping with the homework, whether they have one child or multiple, or they're helping someone else's kids or whatnot. So shout out to those brothers too, because that's not easy. Even though, like Jay said, being a parent is a responsibility and it's intentional, it's a choice. It's still hard work. So shout out to all those brothers who are the teachers, as well as doing their regular day-to-day when they're working or making their livelihood, making their money, supporting and providing for their household. And also, lastly, I'll say shout out to the brothers that didn't let connections, whether they be platonic or romantic, didn't let connections just end without getting clarity or end on bad notes, who had tough conversations, who made sure that everything was out on the table and everything was understood, because it takes a lot of I would say selflessness to do that, because sometimes, especially when you don't think you're in the wrong or you have pride or whatever, you can just say screw it and just leave it at that. So shout out to the brothers who take the extra step or steps and have the conversation, make sure that the clarity has got whatever the decision is, and they do that, because that actually is admirable in my opinion. So shout out to y'all brothers too.
Yeah, but I'll only be echoing what we always do, man, bro. Thank you, man. We approaching November, which will be 2 years of doing this.
Oh, wow.
And this has been an amazing time doing Brother Empowerment for 2 years. We done got a little bougie with our little setup. We got theme music now.
Yep.
We ain't in the bedroom no more. We was in the bedroom turned into an office.
Yeah.
Now we in a real office. We got a backdrop. So we've come a long way. And it wasn't until Brother and I was on a podcast yesterday, and it wasn't until I realized this, like, we gotta embrace those beautiful interruptions. Because I met Brother in February or March of 2017. And we didn't know that we was gonna start, Love is a Parable. And then in that same year in June, Angie wore the shirt. We had a photo shoot, and Brother came walking in again for the second time. And we didn't know that we were looking at the future, not only actor, but one of the founding members of Love is a Parable and our board member and our chief technology officer. We never thought that. And so when we look at this stuff, like, this is kind of amazing for all of us. And it is real time for all of us. Guys, man, we're on to something new and something better and bigger. We're in 30 countries. Because this is the 30 countries around the world. Somebody literally just reached out to us wanting Brother Empowerment. So it's just like amazing that things are happening. And every time we doubted and made sure that this was right and making sure certain things are right, this is why we pursue love and make sure that we are practicing being open to everything, because if we listen, man, good things are happening. Yeah. And we thank you for all the great brothers. Like, light attracts light. You don't have to worry about getting rid of bad people when you light, because light and darkness cannot coexist. Just continue to be the light. Your people will leave you. Yeah. I guarantee you, darkness cannot exist in the presence of light. It's no way possible. And so darkness just leaving and a bunch of light is coming. So we thank the light that is constantly with us, like Ian, one of our collaborators, like Kerwin, our other collaborator, who has time to save all of North Carolina, get people out of jail, and then tune in to Brother Empowerment, and then send a text to make sure we all right all at the same time.
That when you have superpowers.
Yeah. Our new brother, we definitely want to thank Ricky Phillips for coming in, being a breath of fresh air, giving the politician advice and governmental advice and information. Sean, who tunes in faithfully from YouTube, thank you for what you're doing. Deshaun, who makes it your priority, you all the way in California, and making sure that you are on every chance that you get, and if you late, you sending a message. Sean Stewart, we thank you, brother. We thank you guys for everything that you're doing. Robert, being a positive example, all the things that you're doing. Thank you for supporting us from the beginning. So a lot of us been rocking hard, and guys, and we just thank you for everything that you're doing. You guys encourage us. I put a few links in there because things have changed. We broadened our educational services. So I want you to definitely go and check that out. Cordell directed his first video.
Oh, that's cool.
It was fun getting that bag. But yeah, if y'all haven't seen that, please go on the Love is Pro page, or you can view it on my page or Jay's page, or anybody else who's on the board too. You can look at their page, and it was a the link is also in the comments too. So, but yeah, that was just a video for people to see more of the board. Jay has been from the forefront. Jay has been, at the head steamrolling things. So, and I thought it was time for people to see more of the board and get to know people that we have on board who are not really in front of the camera all that much, i.e. Kirsten and Lita, sis. They're not in front of the camera all that much. So I figured let's fix that and show the people, who have all these other board members. So yeah.
We put the link in there, and for those who keep asking like ways you can donate, yes, we have Cash App, Venmo, and all of that, and PayPal. All of it is Love is a Parable. We also put the donation link up there too. Who want to donate to anything that we're doing? A lot of these services are free, and so we want to continue to offer things that are free. And so you definitely can go and check that out if you will. We also put Keetria's information there. Please follow her on all social media platforms that she has listed. I put them all there,
especially Twitter.
Yeah.
Because we're only going to hear from her on Twitter.
I'm about to go follow her on Twitter too.
I will follow back.
Oh,
it's just Instagram.
Disparation. We're gonna test it. But we got all of her information. Follow her, support her. She's stepping out into entrepreneurship. She's been successful in her profession, and now she's bringing her profession to being an entrepreneur. I know how that feels, and so I thank you for everything that you're doing to support us. And like we tell people every week, rather, if you feel that nobody else in this world loves you, you just met 3 people who truly do love you. Reach out to us, connect with us, know that you're not in this alone, and we got you. Yeah. And we'll see you next week. We love you guys.
Love y'all. See y'all next week.
Oh, one more thing.
Hold that thought.
I got to give a shout out to JB Green for coming in at a crunch, flying in and giving me this wonderful haircut.
Word.
That's crazy. You saved the day. You saved it.
That thing crispy, man.
Look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at the federation. Man, thank you. Now you got a heart because we'll have to talk about this conversation. Brian, I still love you. No, it's not over.
Oh, man.
We in this together. Love you. Shut up. But we love y'all.
Peace, y'all.